Hey guys, Don here. Welcome to the $1,000,000 Minute. Want to go over kind of what it takes to get your practice to the $1,000,000 mark and beyond. I'm going to go over first about a few questions that a few people asked. First question was, how do you get new doctors up to speed? I have a couple of people that are looking to hire new doctors for their practice and kind of starting out in July or August, which is a few months down the road, but they want to get them kind of up to speed. I have a couple of things within my Podiatry Practice Mastery Academy in there. Specifically, I have our Central Mass Podiatry, like new doctor manual, that's in there. If you guys want this, I can send it to you. Just send me an email, don@podiatrypracticemastery.com. What it has is just a lot of kind of the stuff that we use internally when training, kind of as I have new ideas or I'm documenting how I do things, it's in there. Okay, so that would be the best way. I think would be like have them read this, and then I think most importantly have them shadow you and kind of share about expectations of treatments and things like that. Another question patient asked, or someone asked one of the docs, is what is the difference between an avulsion and an IND? This is kind of a simple question, but I think he might be underbilling. So if every time you're taking out an ingrown toenail, whether it be a paronychia or just an ingrown with callus in the edge, and you're billing a 11730, which is a partial or a total nail avulsion, there's less RVUs, or it pays less for that than an IND. IND is a 10060, which is if usually I do this if there is swelling, if there's an infection, if there's pus in there. That's when I considered it an IND. So that's the way I do it in the office. Once again, my focus is more on revenue, less about billing, but I guess billing is part of the revenue thing. Another question someone asked was about doing 3D orthotic printers. The one that he sent me was a 3D printer that took 5 hours to make a pair of orthotics. So if you do very minimal orthotics, because 5 hours is like almost half your day, you have to have someone run the machine, print the orthotics. I guess you could maybe charge a premium for that, but really it's going to be hard if you're doing 40, 50 pairs of orthotics with a couple of doctors, or even say 20. It's going to be just a lot of printing. One person's going to be running that machine. So that's the only thing. And I think with 3D printed, the final product, such as the finishing of the orthotic, isn't the best yet. Okay. And then the last question someone else asked about, what do you do if you get a lot of cancellations? And it just so happened I was listening to Alex Hamosi. Once again, I like his podcast. And he mentioned a couple of things, and I've never heard of this before. One of the idea is it's called a tie down, basically a commitment tie down. So after someone makes an appointment, you just say, hey, is there anything that you think that would hinder you from making this appointment? So this was an example he gave for a dentist that was saying they had a lot of cancellations, and I know a lot of us, this is the complaint, there was some cancellations on Mondays. So you do a tie down, so after it's made, then you have the staff say, hey, is there anything that you think that would hinder you from making this appointment? And, oh, no, everything is fine. Okay, so you have that kind of verbal commitment. That's one thing. Second thing that he recommended is I think we have these automated reminders, but initially use automated reminders, like let's say a week out. I don't know, you could do 3 days out, a day out. But then when it comes to, or like a day out, when it gets closer to the appointment, you actually have one person to call them and just confirm, or text them to confirm. Have have a phone there, or a way you can actually text them, hey, just making sure you're coming in, just wanted to confirm your appointment. Because even when they confirm them, or even a phone call, it kind of, I don't know, makes them more committed. Another thing he gave was kind of a neat idea when he did this with his gyms. He did something where he asked them, hey, you're coming in, I see you for this appointment. What color shirt do you want? Do you want red or green? So the same thing for, I guess, a dentist. You could say, hey, we got a couple of, we're going to get in your gift pack, your floss and your toothbrush. What color toothbrush do you want? Do you want red or green or pink or something like that? So we can get that ready and then have it there and then take a picture. So it kind of makes them committed to coming in. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea of like, what type of free gift do you want? We have a water bottle or a pair of socks just when you're coming in. So if you're having a lot of cancellations, it kind of gets that commitment. Okay, so that's some neat ideas. Let's go here into the day. This was, there were 23 patients, no openings for the day for me. First one was an orthotic follow-up, level 3 visit. They're doing much better. But the problem was the orthotics weren't there. So how do I solve that? I'm going to mail them. So I'm going to take on that cost, mail them, and then they're going to do a follow-up in 6 weeks. This was a patient that really almost like took 2 months to get their orthotics. So I'm not sure why they didn't come in earlier. And I don't know why they got lost. Never had that happen before. Kind of embarrassing, but she was okay with it. Another patient came in. This was an 18-year-old. He had a matrixectomy, and I was finding I was kind of struggling because my staff, I think they were talking patients out of the post-op kit. So I do the Marigel post-op kit. They were saying, oh, you can either soak or you can do the post-op kit. Post-op kit's like $65, or you can just soak for free. And I think they're almost like talking them into the soaking. So I basically tell them that they need the kit. The kit works better. So that when they come in, I tell the staff they're going to get the kit versus having all those just do the soaking. So I think the kit is a better experience. Another patient was a new patient that had swelling in both of his feet. He opted not to get x-rays. I find a lot of patients, they're now showing me their phone with their x-rays and MRIs. I can bill a little bit higher because I'm evaluating outside records. So that's the benefit, but I am not getting the x-rays all the time anymore. He had bilateral equinus, so we got night splints. Tightness, I talked about compression socks, which he already had, and he was going to get probably on a diuretic from his PCP. He'll be back in 8 weeks. Another patient came in for EPAT number 1 for her Achilles. She has a very painful thickening of her Achilles tendon, so EPAT number 1 for that patient. She has another couple set up. Another patient came in for a fracture follow-up. Possible Liz Franks, but the MRI was negative. He's healing fine, and I'm going to transition him back to playing basketball. Another patient came in. This is a patient, she had a kind of a 57-year-old female going on a cruise, ugly ingrown toenail that was kind of like a pincer nail, and it was curved to the side, so basically it was growing at an angle. So I trimmed that thing all the way back, took a nail sample, and I put a Cariflex on her for her trip, so she's really happy about that. For me, the kit I charge $75, and for the procedure I charge $125, and I usually say in the kit there's enough for three toenails, so they'll bring the kit back. Another patient came in for EPAT follow-up. They're about 80% better, so if they're doing that much better, I do a 3-month follow-up. So initially I do a 6-week follow-up, and if they're doing really good, I'll double that and do a 12-week follow-up. Another patient came in for follow-up after Lamisil, but he had some cracking in his heel, so I recommend Sleep and Heal. If you don't have those are kind of cool things. They're like gel pads for the heels, and he's going to do a 42% urea cream. Another patient came in. This was the third EPAT session for second met head pain. This guy's a prominent kind of frisbee golf player. He loves to play that. I'm going to see him back in 6 weeks to see how he's doing with his second met head pain. Another patient came in for an ulcer on the second toe. So he's already had some amputations. I'm concerned. He doesn't have the greatest circulation, doesn't have the best feeling. I got him an orthotic because he had a high arched foot, but this ulcer is just really slow to heal. So I'm going to see him one more time. If it doesn't get better, these ones I usually send to the wound center. That's just kind of the way I do it. I don't want to deal with kind of infections or other amputations. Another patient came in for after a skin biopsy. We did a skin biopsy. It showed tinea pedis. I put him on ketoconazole, and I talked to him about oral Lamisil. I'm going to see him back in 3 months to see how the ketoconazole is working, and potentially put him on terbinafine. He's going to talk to his doctor. He wanted to talk to his doctor. Another patient came in for Onifix follow-up. Onifix didn't really work, so we ended up did bilateral matrix on this patient. I'll see her back in 3 weeks. Another patient came back from plantar fasciitis follow-up. He did much better with his toe post shoe change, so I think a lot of the shoes were helpful for him. Another patient came in. That was morning, afternoon. Patient had a painful second and third met cuneiform joint. I did a cortisone injection in that area and talked to her about a possible lapidus bunionectomy with a second and third met fusion. So she'll consider that or have a surgical evaluation for that with one of my colleagues here in the office. Another patient came in for a partial nail avulsion and also a Lamisil booster. This patient was initially given Lamisil by their PCP, 90 days, but I feel like they need a lot more, so that's why I put them on the booster at that day. Another patient came in for bilateral foot swelling, and just an older gentleman, got x-rays. No need for follow-up unless there's any other issues. That was a quick one. Another patient came in for an Onifix to evaluate it, and I put an Onifix on this toe. They're going to come back as needed when the Onifix comes back. Another patient that came in This one has a kind of ankle pain deep inside, has an OCD. This is Epad number 2 for this patient. I'm going to do a series of Epads to try to get bone penetration. The problem is you have to get focused Epad to 0.25 to get bone penetration, and it's a little bit painful for her. So I'm struggling to get up to that amount where I can have the bone involved or the help with that. Same thing with the first MPJ arthritis. Hard to get up to that area of intensity without causing them too much pain. So I had another first MPJ that was Epad number 4 for that, and I'm going to see her back in 6 weeks. And then another patient that was a Lamisil booster, two Lamisil booster patients, and then 1 nail sample patient. So that was the day. So let me know your thoughts. If you have any other ideas on how to get patients to come in, or I'm still kind of working on this fungus thing. No one sent me anything, but send me some ideas, ways to make fungus more profitable, or what's working for you in your practice. I know a lot of people use these foot soaks and things like that. I have not done that. Or these topicals, because I don't feel they don't work great. But if you found something that really, really works, let me know, and let me know how you use it, and I'll share it with others. Thanks.